of this Afcon, and we shall see what both teams have for us.
Well, interesting array here as the two teams get set to lock in. Stefano Cousin is the coach here, and will definitely have had his instructions pretty clear for the Selecanthers. It's last chance saloon. It's a Mexican standoff, do or die. And we're underway as it stands. It is Mali in all white, and they'll start off on the defense as the Selecantha will look to pounce pretty early in this matchup. They are in all green and looking to make quick wave. Remember, these two teams are pretty pessy. You might want to hold your breath. It's about to get hot and heavy here. Kenan Tobibo gets onto the ball, instantly looking to shuffle the feet. Interesting how high up tonight. They're going to have to watch out for that man, Lassine Sinayoko. Out to the flank, Benjaloud Yusuf.
This is a game that is going to be won in the middle of the park. They both have some very good players in the middle of this park here, and this is where they will need to dominate if they're to get anything out of this game. I'm yet to see what Yves Bissouma is going to offer his Mali side, because he's definitely their best player on the pitch here, and they'll be hoping to get a lot out of him, including from their striker, Sinayoko. He's a constant threat whenever he's on the pitch.
Well, it's going to be an interesting array out here tonight. These two teams already meeting up recently, like I did point out, both having to play in Bekan, Morocco because of infrastructure. Those two recent meetings were games that Mali did manage to get the better here, as managing to win both those games home and away 3-0. It was both instances, but a little more digging under the surface will reveal that the coach here, Tom Saint-Fate, has definitely consistently had the number that is of this man, Stefano Cousin, and Team Comoros. Because if you dig back into the record, something I found pretty interesting is that his very first game in charge, way back in 2008 when he was head coach of Namibia, was against, guess who? Comoros, and beat them by a score of 3-0.
Yeah, he's one of the coaches that I know for quite a long time now, and he's a very, very feisty man, always on his feet, looking to play with his team as well. He's not on the pitch, but you can feel his presence from outside the pitch because he always wants to win. He's a very competitive coach, and I think that's something that he has instilled in all the teams that he has coached.
Center referee is a man who definitely bears a strict reverence for the later of the game. Both teams will have to be on extremely good behavior. Speaking of which, 5 players in the team of Mali, should they pick up yellow cards tonight, would not be eligible to play at the next round should they continue. And only Yanis Kari will have to watch his step tonight, as he's the only player in the Comoros team that could be in a spot of bother should he pick up a yellow card.
Yeah, that's a high number of yellow cards for a team that wants to come and win the Afcon, because they're almost all their best players are on a yellow card, and they'll have to watch themselves carefully in this game.
Let's see how this goes. The pickup is instant, trying to weave through the defense. It's exemplary play from Mali, looking to impose themselves. Selecanthers now on the counter-attack. Good play from Benjaloud Yusuf, carrying the ball forward. Neat pass intercepted. Pick up in the defense. Well, the tempo of the game starting high up, and the question is, how long will they maintain it up there? Ousmane Kamara.
Whenever Comoros lose possession, they're keeping a line of 5 players behind them. They just want to make sure that they're tight and neat at the back there, so that they can hit Mali from the counter-attacks.
Mamadou Sangare gets the ball forward. Komore Doumbia, who's dropping very deep and almost approaching the false 9 role. Nene Douglas, he is a trickster by trade on that pitch. His body will go one way, the body will go the other, the ball will go the other. Something that Comoros will have to watch out for. To the back line. Ousmane Kamara onto Yves Bissouma. Good touch there with Mohamed Kamara. Back to the skipper, Bissouma. Kamara, Ousmane, Abdoulaye Diaby. Up to Fode Douakare. Nice touch. Getting forward now. They're in ascendance. A ball is slipped up, and that's inviting Nathan Gassama to keep it in play, which he does. Bissouma. This is controlled pace, rhythm. A subtle hint of aggression here from Mali. And now they look for the 1-2 opening. That was a touch heavy from Comoros Doumbia. Couldn't open up for Mamadou Sangare, who's really going into a box-to-box phase here. Quite lively.
Yeah, some very good play from Mali there. You can see this is the type of game. Pass it and just keep the possession. Force Comoros out of their lines, and it's what they almost achieved there. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get the 1-2 properly done, but you can just see what they're trying to do here. And Comoros will need to watch those little passes in between them, because Mali is very, very good at those type of passing.
Interestingly, the two games that we talked about, the most recent games that these two teams have faced off, both that ended 3-0. The goal scorers are all on the pitch right now. Nene Douglas did score in one of those games, as well as Comoros Doumbia with a brace in one. And then in the other, once again, it was Nene, Comoros Doumbia, and Lassine Senayoko that were on the score sheet. So Comoros know a thing or two about the front firepower of the Eagles of Mali. Long ball stretching out here. There's no one to support. He'll have to hold the line on his own. Zain Moulida, actually Benjaloud Yusuf. Comoros Doumbia is leading the line up front tonight. Will be tasked with finding the goals. The man that plays for Brest in France, who had an exceptional run in the UEFA Champions League last season, won themselves quite a couple of admirers.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to bring his A game to this Mali side if they're to get the win out of this game. And you can already see Comoros are playing on the counter-attack. That's why they sit so deep, hoping that they can catch Mali out of the counter-attack. And they'll have to be very, very quick with it, because they won't get a lot of chances this game, so they'll have to use whatever chances that they do get from this game.
Well, they'll definitely have to do better if they're going to get ahead of the Baltica Caligrade man in Nathan Gassama. Empirical game reader, knows how to position himself and just cut out those attacks before they even have a hint of a threat. We'll have to watch out for him. Shot number 28, the man that's currently occupying the left flank. In the meantime, there's a free kick. 7 minutes played, high tempo, and that's the first call. You get the feeling both these teams are more on technique and ability rather than imposing a physical attribute to the game.
Yeah,
that makes for a good reading for a neutral.
It does. I mean, the more you keep possession, the more the less work that you do of trying to chase around and pass.
Well, this is a clean break out in here now. Physical, imposing. Oh my word, that was a neat break here from Zain Moulida, who consistently is the thorn in multiple teams that he faces off with. Appeals to the referee on what probably should be. We have another chance to look at that, but just a timely recovery from Abdoulaye Diaby to just physically impose himself on him. Was there enough contact to guarantee? I don't think so. It doesn't seem like there was any hampering of his attack here. And that was very, very well done here from Abdoulaye Diaby, the man who plays in Switzerland with Grasshoppers Zurich. Corner kick.
Was a good break there by Comoros. One of those rare opportunities that they're going to get in this game. But some very good defending as well from Diaby. I thought that, you know, Moulida had the chance there to actually take an early shot, because the keeper had left his line very, very fast there, and I don't think he had his head up. If he had kept his head up, he would have seen the keeper off his line and tried to beat him from a distance out.
Good touch to start the game and a chance to weave in the cross. That's intercepted on the first attempt. Take two is cut short. Oh, now this is some interesting news that's waffling through We'll just wait to get a bit of confirmation on that, but as it stands, it looks like Morocco have taken the lead in the game against Zambia. Kabi scoring in the 9th minute. Well, that instantly turns the perspective of this game. That literally means it's now down to these two teams here to determine who else will qualify. As the results from Rabat continue to waffle through, we'll keep you abreast.
Yeah. Very, very difficult match for Zambia in that game, but they will have to really fight hard to get back into it. Comoros here doing some very good work and some very, very courageous and brave work so far from them. They're not showing Mali any kind of fear. They've got the respect but no fear, and they're attacking Mali, and they could be the team to get the first goal.
Corner kick, waved in, goalkeeper. Ooh, that was a bubbly ball. It looked like it was anyone's to go. That ball hit the crossbar before it fell in. Well, that's the keeper. Interesting technique.
The keeper had a hand on it, but not a very, very good punch from him.
Well, after those scares there, Mali will want to impose themselves once again to control the rhythm, and that seems to be the name of the game here tonight. Whoever controls the rhythm is the one that seems to dictate play, which is pretty obvious, except that for a team like Comoros, they may be very happy to let anyone else dictate the play and then pick their moments.
Yeah. I think Mali are very much aware of the type of team that they're playing on. This is a team that showed Ghana no respect at all, no fear at all, and actually knocked them out of the last Afcon. So they know what's the stake for them as well here. Comoros, a draw, a loss here sends them home, and they don't want to go home early. So they will give Mali a run for their money. A tag of the jersey there from Maulid, and gives away a free kick to Mali. That you could see was just pulling Gassama's jersey, goes down the ground hoping for a free kick, but the fourth official actually made the right call in that situation. Not the best of stats from Mali right now. I think they're allowing Comoros a lot of space, a lot of time to play and attack them, and that could prove dangerous for them if they are not too careful.
Very interesting outlook to the game as it started in 11 minutes here. I think one that the neutrals will definitely enjoy. High pace, high octane, and a shot from distance. Well, that should shake the cobwebs out of the defense and give them a reason to anticipate. This team is one that can strike even from a distance. Mamadou Sangare with an attempt to rattle that defense. If they needed a warning, there it is. It just arrived.
Very important to try and test the goalkeeper early in the game just to see what he has here. Unfortunately, the shot was just not the best one, but good idea to try and catch the goalkeeper and see what he has in his arsenal.
Very anxious faces on the bench. Could be called in at any one point as we take another look at that shot that was fashioned out from almost nothing by the RC Lens man, Mamadou Sangare. Apologizing, and I'll tell you, some of the very best coaches, if you don't speculate, you won't accumulate. There's confirmation there on the current table standings. As it is, looks like for Morocco, 7 points should be home and dry for the hosts. The question is, who else fits the bill? Foul here, free kick. Protests of innocence, but those will fall on deaf ears here, as Yusuf Zaidou is the man that was penalized there for rushing in on Lassine Sinayoko. Sinayoko, the gentleman who now has 5 goals in 8 African Cup of Nations appearances. Only 2 greats in Seydou Keita and Frederick Kanute, who have 7 each, have scored more goals for Mali. On the attack, nice chip up front. This could be the opening. Doumbia gets the shot, goalkeeper stops it. Corner kick.
Yeah, good play from Mali there. Exactly what they always look for. Pass it around, They look for that small opening and punish whoever they're playing against. And it almost happened there. Unfortunately, he was just in a very tight angle to beat the goalkeeper from that position.
Corner whipped in, goalkeeper having to come out and palm that away. Yannick Pando Still an opportunity, and that's two players who seem to be offside. Goalkeeper Pando makes his stop, and the flag comes up. Well, Yannick Pando, if not for anything, is really having his stalking tread rise up here. Started off the tournament with a penalty save. His reflexes are almost second to none so far in this tournament.
Yeah, he has been one of the best players for Comoros in this tournament so far. Has kept them in all the games that they've played in. Made some good saves against Morocco despite they lost, and made some good saves against Zambia. And here he is again up to the challenge. But also some poor finishing from Mali as well.
Would you believe it that Comoros have had more attacks in this game than Mali? Interesting bit of a start here after quarter of an hour played. Benjelud Yusuf with a huge clearance up front. Well, no one in particular there able to pick it up. Rafiki Said Ahamada is a gentleman that was the intended target. Didn't have quite the service he required in the game against Zambia.
Yeah.
Did show flashes of brilliance every now and then.
Yeah, it's going to be tough as well in this game because Mali are a very well organized team defensively. That's why they have always managed to be the team that
and they break away again. Lassine Sinayoko in possession, spreads it out to the right. Mamadou Sangare constantly switching positions. Mohamed Kamara, Sinayoko and Sangare. It's very difficult to keep a trail on them. Now that's Nathan Gassama. Besoma out here for Nene. Douglas back to the defense. Osmane Kamara. Diaby tends a through pass, but that was quite literally telegraphed to the defense. And they give it away, clumsy. Here comes Nene. Takes a touch. He could fire a shot, and he does. Well, the intent was pretty clear for all to see. Pando will need a bit more cover from his defense. They are opening up every now and then. They were able to get a touch on that. Good play from the captain.
Yeah.
Faze Sulemani.
Very good play there from Nene. Very, very tricky customer there. Tries a shot, but just takes a deflection. As we see that replay there from that Dumbia strike. Tight angle, he could never score from there.
Actually, but one bound to cause trouble as the corner is weaved in straight to the hands of the goalkeeper, just plucking that from the skies. Good header. Ball bounces away. Bubbly ball, nice touch. And now chance to get onto the front foot. Teasing, taunting, Benjelud Yusuf. Finds himself in quite a bit of a spot of a bother. A quick switch in formation here for Comoros, and now they have two men attacking from the front. Kenan Pobibo loses possession, finding themselves a little light on numbers at the back. Could they spring a quick counter-attack? That was a clumsy pass from Sinayoko. Could have done better. And now looking to return the favor. That's a good pass. Oof, running straight into the goalkeeper. Well, he only had eyes for the ball, and in the end paid for his troubles with coming together. The goalkeeper may come off the worst.
That pass behind the Mali defense seems to be doing the trick for Comoros in this game. They've tried it about 3 times now, and it's almost paid off for them, and Mali's going to have to watch that long ball behind the back of the defense. They don't seem to have the fastest defense, and Maulida is quite a quick player, so they'll need to watch him and his runs.
This is Dombia. Soma back to Dombia. That's a very good rest defense here from Comoros, just making sure that they keep a host of the Mali players in their shadow, making all the passing avenues quite unviable. Ooh. Unlucky ball bounce against the Comoros defense, and that hands the initiative now to the Eagles. Quickly roughed off the ball. Bit of physicality coming in, treading off possession. Besoma could fancy a chance from distance. That was traveling once again. Mali consistently showing that they're not afraid to go from distance. The latest attempt from the North London Spurs man, Yves Besoma. He's just returned from injury. I'm not so sure his coach back in England will be happy to see him consistently pulling those long-range shots with the possibility of injuring himself again, as we see another attempt earlier there from Mezain Maulida.
Yeah.
He's been their orchestrator-in-chief.
You can just see Mali are being restricted to long-range strikes now because the Comoros defense is sitting very, very deep and very tight. So there's not enough space for Mali to maneuver their way through, and they just now have to try long-range strikes, which are not yet finding their range.
Played back on the defense. Ahmed Soilihi. Pando goes forward. 20 minutes come and gone. Comoros nil, Mali nil.
Yeah, Mali. Comoros also looking very good for their money as well. Not showing any fear in this game. Attacking at will and attacking whenever they're given an opportunity.
Interestingly, the game against Zambia was the first time in 6 African Cup of Nations matches that Comoros played and did not face a single shot on target. I'll hope for similar fortunes tonight if things are to work in their favor, but for the moment, it's a question of discipline as Nene Douglas is fouled by Kenan Toibibu. Yeah, it's a free kick now for the Eagles of Mali. Had 10 attempts in that game. Shots they did have against Zambia. Only one was on target, Mezain Maulida. So he's already seen him venture forward, trying to sneak behind enemy lines.
Yeah, very, very smart player when he makes those runs. He always finds the right moment to just make that run behind the defense.
Dombia tried to stick a foot out there, but that was hacked clear. Anyway, will do, nothing fancy about it. The ball goes over the line, and that's a throw in. Throw in for Comoros. Well, the urging there from first assistant referee Elvis Guy, just reminding him to step a little further back. It's not a very good executed throw in, could have cost them a bit of a trouble. Now pickup is good, looking to attack. Nathan Gassama puts in a physical touch, and that derails the momentum for Comoros. That's a hefty charge that will definitely draw the referee's attention. Ahmed Soilihi not reining himself in and just going full bludgeon on his marker.
Very physical from Soilihi there, just making sure that the striker feels his presence. Gives him a bit of fear not to come back because he knows what he's going to find. But Mali patiently trying to build, but Comoros are also holding their own. I think they understand the assignment here, and so far they're doing it very, very well.
Interestingly, most of the time that the captain, Besoma, has been receiving the ball, finds himself with his back to goal. That's where you want to keep him as a defender.
Yeah.
Because if he's looking forward, then he's bound to wreak havoc with his range of passes. So full marks so far to Comoros for making sure that they curtail his vision up front. But this time, he sees exactly where he's going. A quick scan allows him to pick up Nene Douglas out on the left. Douglas, step over, tries to fashion a cross. Full Hadi. Gassama with the cross, headed away. Ooh, that was risky from Faiz Slimani. But they get away unscathed.
Yeah.
Mali will have to build again from deep.
Very good point to the box there from Gassama. Unfortunately, just couldn't find any strikers running for it, and allows Comoros to clear their lines.
Nene, back to Nathan Gassama. Osmane Kamara, Besoma.
Yeah, Mali will need to be very, very patient as they build up here, because they're playing against a team that's very good on the counter-attack, and they have some very quick players going forward, so they'll need to hold their lines well and not lose possession unnecessarily.
Interestingly, this team has only played 1/3 game in the African Cup of Nations, as this is their second excursion, Comoros. That game, they played against Ghana, and they won that in what was a proper goal fest, 3-2, the full-time scoreline. Their first ever victory at the African Cup of Nations. Really turning on the flare and getting a spray of passes back and forth. will try to now go into the attack. So Ilihi gets a long ball forward, and now sprinting forward. This is Rafiki Said Ahmada. Had a heavy touch on that and realized the war was lost.
Yeah.
Instantly withdrawing before the ball crossed the line here for a goal kick.
A very good play from Comoros there, how they just pass the ball around neatly in the middle of the park there and then draw Mali out and try and hit them on the counter-attack with that ball behind their defense. But some very good defending there from the big man, Diaby, in that situation there, just stopping Rafiki in his tracks.
3 shots so far from Mali to the 1 for Comoros. Comoros, team that's grown by leaps and bounds in stature. For the moment, don't let the rankings currently fool you, because as it stands in the rankings, it is Mali 53rd and Comoros 109. But Comoros qualified for the African Cup of Nations, top of a group that had Tunisia.
Yes, I mean, the qualifiers, they were quite good as well. They almost even made it to the World Cup. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get over the line, but it was very good to see them finish top of their group in that ahead of Tunisia, one of Africa's powerhouses.
56 positions difference for them. As we did see for a moment, there was a player on the ground, Ousmane Kamara, but he's back on his feet, and in the meantime, the attack probes out on the right, but peters out for nothing more. Now the referee wants to have a bit of a discussion here with Molida. Oh, that's one of the things you can always look forward to at the African Cup of Nations. It's a carnival, festive atmosphere and color.
Yeah.
There can be no African game without color.
I mean, it has been wet and cold in Casablanca, Rabat, I think everywhere in Morocco, but the fans have come out and enjoyed the occasion, and they've heard their voices. We've heard their voices as well. They are up in song the whole game, which is very, very good for the tournament as well.
Throw-in for Comoros. The fans there showing up in numbers for a team that's actually had a very tremendous job here. In the meantime, looks like Morocco are really taking a pounding on Zambia. Current scoreline 2-0, it stands. I think the body has been pronounced dead before it hits the ground.
Yeah, tough times for Zambia.
Nathan Gassama. Well, that only heightens the sense of the prize at stake for a victory in this game. And Lassine Senayoko tries to get the better of Tobibo. Tobibo standing his ground. Keenan threads a through pass forward, and now this is getting to a physical game. The referee will draw it back, and that's going to arc the coach Stefano Cusin, 57-year-old Italian.
Yeah, I mean, he's very used to this type of physical football. He's an Italian, and those are the masters of the physical game. So, yeah, it is going to be a physical game. But it looks like there was a...
No, I think both were actually tagging at each other.
Yeah, but it looks like Maulida was just pulling down on Diaby's jersey. That's how the referee called it. But some very good defending from Kenan. Tobibu earlier on there, just stopping the attack.
Pando gets the ball clear, not too far forward, and that's an easy pickup for Gassama. Supposed to thwank the ball out into touch. So throw in, that's taken quick. Nathan Gassama has to thread it in, closing it down. Well, you have to admire the durability and intensity that Comoros present here. A lot of that, I think, comes from having played probably the highest volume of matches of any team currently in the African Cup of Nations. They played 21 matches in the calendar year 2025. 7 wins, 2 draws, 12 losses. They've scored 20 goals, conceded 34. You could be wondering why 21? Well, they had the Afcon, which they're playing now, plus the qualifiers. They played the Arab Cup as well as its qualifiers. A couple of international friendlies, the World Cup qualifiers, as well as COSAFA. So compared to Mali, which has played just about 10 matches in the calendar year 2025.
That is a lot of football from Comoros there. But you can see this is why they have improved so much. They keep on just improving year in, year out. And the quality, the type of quality play that they're showing right now shows you that they have improved. And, you know, they are one of the teams to look out for now in this tournament as well. And I think they're just going to get stronger as they go forward.
Gassama forced to play a pass back to his goalkeeper, Jigui Diarra. And he was very alert to the possibility of the danger that was lurking.
Yeah.
Earlier there, just another illustration of the man-to-man pressing that Comoros continue to impose. Diarra, man that plies his trade in Tanzania for young Africans, not a stranger to heated rivalries and derbies, is one who has definitely had to hold his own during the Kariako derby. Anyone who's been to Tanzania will tell you that is a real feisty storm between Simba and young Africans. And now he's right in the crucible here at the African Cup of Nations as Gassama ventures forward. Kamori Doumbia to Sinayoko, who wants the pace to be engaged further forward. Neat one-touch soccer from Mali. Doumbia.
Yeah, I have a smile on my face because I appreciate this type of football. You know, there's no panic. You just pass it around, make it neat, force your opponents to come out there. Because the more you keep the ball, the more tired your opponent gets, and this is what Mali is trying to do. And they're doing it very well so far. They're not just finding the openings to get the goal that they're looking for, but in terms of build-up and play, they are really doing it very well. Very impressive indeed.
Patient in their build-up, but this is a team that knows how to unlock defenses and ultimately scored. The last time they failed to score in the African Cup of Nations was in their final group game in 2023 against Namibia. It's been 7 matches since, and they've only failed to score that one.
Shows you that their level of attack, their level of play is very high. They play a very good, patient game, and they also hold it tight very well at the back. So they're a team that can score at any time. You can see here Comoros are just becoming a little bit clumsy, giving away possession unnecessary because they have been doing a lot of chasing, and that can become very tiring and very frustrating, you know, just chasing around the ball, not touching the ball, and, you know, you get punished.
A through pass coming in, Pando staying alert here, Yannick Makahmed Pando, man who plays for Moraines in Belgium. Sticking to the business end of things and providing the service when called upon. Mohamed Kamara gets into a physical duel, and Rafiki Said loses out on possession there. Anticipation is up there. Heightened sense of what is and what could come to be. Mamadou Sangare onto Abdoulaye Diaby. Ousmane Kamara, Gassama. One touch back into the order of things, and that was a hard challenge. That's definitely going to draw the ire of the referee, and that's a yellow card. That's shown to Kenan Tobibo.
It has been coming for him. I think he's been a little bit too hard on Nene. Every time Nene has gotten the ball, he's coming really hard, and finally the referee has lost his patience with him and flashes him a yellow card, which now is going to put him under a lot of pressure, especially when he is
well, a couple of anxious faces here in the stands of Comoros. Probably the results from Rabat already filtering through, so they realize how big the prospect is, but also the pitfall with not being able to deliver.
out of this game. Otherwise, they're headed home as well.
Bissouma to the flank, looking for Fode Doucouré. Well, makes the cross there. It's one that's hit too hard a bit.
Not a good cross from
Yeah.
Yeah, just floated the ball in and found nobody.
So 34 minutes of the game played. We are fast approaching the final 10 minutes of the game. Still goalless here at the physicality that we were praising the teams for not imposing as yet. Now checking in.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting look.
Yeah, it's getting tougher.
Mohamed Kamara going to the ground. This is Sinayoko. Gassama. Nene Douglas. The touch is not good enough, but the fight well and truly on as he manages to recover possession. Bissouma under pressure. Well, would you look at that? 70.9% ball possession for Mali, 29.1% for Comoros.
I think Comoros are going to be very tired after this tournament because they're the team that has done almost all the chasing in this group here. They have been mostly outplayed by the teams that they're faced, and it's not going to be any easier in this game, and they would definitely be a very tired side. But they'll be hoping they can hold on to at least a draw in this game.
Thomas Cousin and Stefano Cousin and Tom Julianes Saint-Fay just watching on, two veterans of the game. This time it's more of a tactical chess battle. Question is who would get the upper hand. The cross is on.
Yeah, good,
the less said about it, the better.
Them. Yeah, good break from them. He could have just hit that ball a little bit harder. You could see what he was intending to do, played right in front of the goalkeeper, but there was just not a lot of power in there.
But look at that sprint from Fode Doucouré. Gets the ball for the third time, tries to thread it in. It's a coming together of the defense there. And very fortunate no one was on the prowl. They recover possession, skipping away from one challenge, played back to the goalkeeper. Puts that away from his goal area.
Desperate defending from Comoros there on that occasion. They just got in the way of each other. Unfortunately, they managed to find a way out of trouble. But Mali is slowly knocking, but so is Comoros as well with their counter-attacks.
While we're at it, there's still no shots on target for both sides in this game.
It's been a very tight game, very tight defensively from both sides. But it's gonna take some good play to break each other down, because you can see whenever Comoros are on the defense there, they keep bringing everybody down to defend.
Diaby goes searching here for Nene. It's the second time his touch is letting him down. Nene Douglas. Definitely one of key players to look out for here. Man that plays in Turkey for Fenerbahce. A real swift and decisive player with penchant for big football IQ. Sometimes it's second nature what he does. Doesn't have to think about it, it just happens. Well, it's not yet happening here for him in this match.
It's a very tough, tight match there. Really packed in the midfield as well. And Comoros have also packed the backs in the defense, so it's not a lot of space to operate from.
Well, now they have a chance to break forward, but a timely intervention there from Nene. Still the attack is potent here for Comoros. Selecanthers on to the captain, tries to cross the ball in, intercepted. Rafiki has a chance, can he find the space to shoot? Well, opts to retain possession, and that's a corner. Corner kick for the Selecantha. And that's the worry that always is a possibility. A bubbly ball, an open chance. Ooh, look at that switch of lanes.
Yeah.
And almost clean through away from Rafiki Said Ahmada.
Good play from Comoros on that occasion there. trying to force Mali into a mistake. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't find what they were looking for, and Mali cleared the lines for a corner kick to Comoros.
All the cheers coming in from the fans as the attempt was towards the far post, but to no one in particular.
Yeah, no one at the back post. Just a wasted opportunity from Comoros there. They need to take advantage of these rare opportunities that are getting to have an attack at Mali and make use of them.
Gassama, the man that will be tasked with restarting play here. Man that has consistently had that pageant of romping the entire flank, as now they look to get into a counter-attack. Nene probes it forward, and they have numbers up in arms. Can they get something out of this? A cutback is good. Arriving in time is Doumbia. Komari Doumbia just couldn't get to the ball, and the danger is not yet past. Still on the attack, Sinayoko looking for the 1-2, but that's quite a number of bodies up front. His physical prowess doing a good job. Cutback is on. Oh, the captain, you cannot afford to make that mistake there, Slimani. The shot comes in, peppers the goalkeeper's hands. He averts the danger. Faye Slimani will have to thank his lucky stars. Your captain, you cannot go showboating at the edge of the box area.
Yeah.
That is inviting trouble and dancing with the devil.
Indeed, dancing with the devil there in his own penalty box. Puts his team in a lot of pressure there. Lucky for him, his goalkeeper was up to the task to make a very, very good save from that Nene shot. First shot on target and first good attack from Mali. And Comoros have gotten a wake-up call there. They know they need to keep it even tighter to stop this Mali team from finding that goal that they have been searching for the last 41 minutes.
Mali catching a whiff of an opportunity, and that will definitely just whet their appetite. I'll go about it again. Nene Douglas, touch one, sidestep, and plays it back here to Camara. Asks for the ball, and he receives it. Dokore was a bit quiet in the first 15 minutes of the game, but now's gotten up his love to romp forward as well. So both fullbacks exercising as much of the freedom given as possible. Gassama, yeah, doing that as well on the left. And that's a good through pass to Nene. Nene looking to sidestep. He's closed down. The cutback is good. Something needs to be done about the wings here for Comoros. Too many cutbacks towards the center of the park. One will ultimately leave them open. And Mali may definitely just land that blow that they're looking for. Nene, once again. Doumbia. An opportunity fancied by Mohamed Kamara. On target. Well, they'll have to come up with something better to beat Yannick Pando. He's had a response to everything that's been thrown at him.
Yeah, he's been very solid in that goal. The good strike there and a good save equally there. He was watching it all the way and just does a good save there. Well done to Pando. I think he's kept his team here in this game on two occasions, two very crucial occasions. You mentioned the wings here for Comoros. I think Mali is just trying to drag them out. The Mali's playing these little passes in between there and trying to force their fullbacks inside. Then they make that run on the wings, and Comoros is not watching that, and that is where Mali is getting most of their joy. But well done to the goalkeeper Pando for keeping his side in the game.
For those that do remember the last time that Comoros was at the African Cup of Nations, the heroics of Ben Salime Boina were quite something to talk about and marvel about. So questions were, would Yannick Pando keep up the high level of goalkeeping ability? I think the answer is a deafening yes.
Yeah. Very solid. You need that from your goalkeeper, just to give you that confidence and keep you in the game.
Dependable, reliable, and one you can count on. Bissoma. Oh, dinks that forward, but hasn't met the target, and now a chance to counter when they're a little thin on numbers. Well picked up here. There's a hold up, and that, well, the referee says carry on. Had the opportunity to continue play and just didn't, and there's an offside flag. Well, Rafiki needs to realize it's going to be a consistent physical battle if he's going to go in, throw in the entire kitchen sink. Any half-hearted attempts to stay on your feet is definitely might not be a match for the likes of Abdoulaye Diaby as well as Ousmane Camara.
But very good play there from Diaby. I mean, he just kept his cool. They didn't panic in that situation. They just guided him and looked at the ball all the way there and made that fine challenge. Used his big body to just get Rafiki out of position there and win the ball cleanly. But then again, we saw that ball behind the Mali defense there from Comoros, something that they've been trying the whole game.
Gassama, as we strike the 45th minute. We'll get confirmation in just a bit. It looks like it will be just 1 minute added according to the fourth officials board. Player on the ground, it's the captain. Referee says carry on with play. Sinayoko is in the box area and eventually goes to the ground. The referee is not going to hog the whistle. He's going to let play continue, and it's contact sport, so there'll be a couple of bruises here and there. People will carry some battle scars to the dressing room, but it's all in service of the beautiful game.
Yeah, it's a man's game here. It's going to be a little bit brutal and physical at some points there. You just have to ride the wave there and get stuck in it. I think that was a foul actually on Selemani there from Besuma. He used his hand to just shoot the ball away, but the referee did not just pick it up, but it was a foul, I think.
Throw in. Looks like that's fair play from Mali. Pandor starts it, but it's only short-lived as they have to take a break after 45 minutes. They've engaged on all fronts, and nobody has been able to land a definitive fast blow, but not from lack of want. It's been a game with a proper ebb and flow, and one can only anticipate an even more enticing second half. Half-time, Comoros 0, Mali 0.